Hello and welcome to the Franchise Everything podcast, where we talk about everything and anything franchising. And today you're actually here by the noise around us. We're coming from the Franchise and Business Opportunities Expo in Melbourne. Chilly and wet outside as normal for Melbourne. And we've got a special guest today who we've grabbed from one of their stands, and is Jonathan Payne, the co-founder of Xpresso Mobile Franchise. G'day, Jono.
Xpresso Mobile Cafe. Good to be here.
What did I call it?
How are you?
What did I call it?
Xpresso Mobile Franchise.
Oh, it's the same thing. Yes, I'm very well. Thank you for asking me. I've got franchise signs and everything all around me.
It's true.
About
That's
100
true.
people so far. I mentioned the word franchising about 5,000 times today, but it's a great day. So how's your day been so far?
You know what? We've had a really a big start. A little quiet in the last 10, 15 minutes, but we've had people fly in from Adelaide to see me, so I feel very special today. It's nice when people travel so far, but lovely couple, and they'll be joining us in October after their trip to Europe and in for a whole new season of life. So it's super exciting to be working with them in the future.
So that's you to a T. I mean, you're always talking about, you're a real people person. You know, I've known you for many years now, and you're really people focused about your franchisees and everything.
Yeah.
So where does that come from? What's the background on that?
Oh, look, we love people. Yeah, we sure. Darren, my business partner, we just it's all about people. This is not just about flogging coffee. It's about flogging happiness, I suppose, and really coffee brings people together, makes us feel good. I suppose it's one of the healthier habits one could have, a habit nonetheless. And we're certainly involved in that, involved in relationships, bringing people together. And that's what we do with our mobile cafes. People come out to the van, they have a chat with each other and also with the operators as well. And so it's great to be a part of that. And we see across our group, the team members, those businesses, those licensees of ours that are doing exceptionally well are the ones that are particularly good at connecting with people and just being friendly and showing their teeth. So that's a huge part of what we try and encourage. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, this conversation we're having here is one really the broad topic of these sorts of things is the franchise business model, right? So I want to talk about the things in this that you because I know you have great conversations with people at expos like this. You have long conversations. You can speak 15, 20, 30 minutes, I see, with people. And a lot of brands don't often get the chance to do that when they're just sort of getting snapshots of people online. Yeah. So this podcast is more about, the franchise business model. So I'm going to touch on a few things specific to Xpresso. Now, you were telling me something was really interesting, a big change you've made in the system.
Don't give it away.
I'm not going to give it away. I'll leave it for you to give away. I don't want to steal anyone's thunder. So,
that's all right.
What's the big change?
Well, it is a significant pivot. That's the big word, isn't it? Post-pandemic.
You didn't use pivot.
Pivot. Is it one V or two Vs? I'm not sure. But there it is. Look, we polled a number of people, over 100 people actually, of people that came to us and decided to give it a go themselves. That is, be an independent mobile cafe operator, and it's sort of, I suppose, we got to the point where it's like, well, what are we doing wrong? We need to have a good hard look at ourselves and go
about why they didn't come on board with you.
Yeah, why didn't come on board? And we know that the company that we work with to fit out our mobile cafes do a whole lot more than just Xpresso Mobile Cafes, shall we say? And it's like, and look, frankly, that really bothered me.
I bet.
As it should.
I was about to say it's a bit disappointing.
So what are we doing here? Because we're doing everything else right, and but people for a key reason decide to
just tell us what the bloody reason is.
And the reason is fees, mate. At the end of the day, so they want the box and dice. They want all the support and all the love and attention, the stock, the access to wholesale prices, the training and the launch in particular, but they're not necessarily prepared or willing to pay an ongoing fee of any kind, whether that's a royalty or a fixed admin fee or whatever it looks like, a fee. And so there's a rule, and I think across the spectrum in franchising in Australia, it's getting harder to provide value, but to, I suppose, use the word justify any sort of franchise fee.
Differentiate yourself from competitors as well.
That's right, exactly. So we had a long, hard look at ourselves, and we've managed to make some pretty significant changes in the business whereby we no longer do charge a fee. And
so,
I've got to...
Just so I can be clear, that's what the drum roll was. I thought there was going to be an announcement.
This is you heard it here.
This is it. Fees.
Kaboom. We no longer charge a royalty or any sort of fixed fee, admin fee.
That's breaking news.
That is breaking news. Obviously, there's marketing. We have a very simple, easy, fixed $69 a week fee. And what that does is switch on a big Google spotlight in the air. One of Elon Musk's, he'll align all the satellites. And that switches on some Google marketing so that we can send events, obviously continue to build the brand and put their business specifically based on suburbs and whatnot.
And how's it been received? So how long did you launch that?
Well, let me tell you, far out. That was only just under 4 months ago.
Yep.
And already put on 3 in the last 3 months, and we've got a pipeline of 4 more coming on, which is basically we're doing 3 times more than we were.
Okay.
And it's not even June yet, so
and
extraordinary.
You're pretty certain, and through feedback and surveys,
that's the reason. That is the 100% the reason.
What your fees previously anyway?
So we only had a very pretty reasonable fixed weekly fee of $159 per week, plus GST, and there were certain advantages to having that fee in terms of, frankly, some product pricing changes. That was less.
So you're saying it's like roughly, I'd say about $7,000 a year is the difference.
That's right, but also freight fees as well. So freight is a considerable, significant fee within our business, and so that contributed towards some of that and offset some of those things. But so there's a real perception of how the fee is delivered. I mean, either day we've got a business to run. We're not a charity, and it does cost money to support and launch and offer products at certain prices, and so we can do that now. I guess we've reached a critical mass where we're a distributor for products, so we're able to obviously buy them at a much reduced price, still offer them at wholesale, and still make a profit. We still make a profit.
That's where you're able to do it. So you're
correct. That's right. Yeah.
By you're making money now going forward off those franchises, because obviously you've got to make money.
That's right.
Business.
Yeah.
So the way you're making money is by selling product.
Correct. That's what we do. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And the marketing fee is simply that. That's tipped back in to a marketing fund which pays for Google and socials and all sort of stuff. So yeah. So it's pretty exciting. And then the difference we've seen is quite phenomenal and frankly risky as well.
It is. I was about to say, because it's a huge change for a franchise company to make.
It is, and it comes out of the fact we've never ever been greedy. Yeah. It's not about greed. It's not about becoming some big ASX listed company. We're a private business, family run, family values, relational. We love people, and we're in this for the long run. We've got all our licensees. It's almost like a marriage, and we're in this for the long haul, and we want them to be successful. So it's not about gouging anyone. It's about offering premium products at very reasonable prices, but also meeting the costs of doing business in this new post-pandemic world.
So as where the business goes, you're a van. So it's a mobile van. I know you invested quite a lot of R&D and also into the technology of the vans and how they're powered. I don't know if you know, I used to own a coffee van 20 years ago.
Yeah, right. Oh, wow.
Yes, I did.
Xpresso?
No, it was my own brand.
Cool.
It's my own brand.
That makes sense.
And I know the generator was always an issue, so you don't do generators anymore. We did a bit of a tour and you showed us the battery power. Tell us about the battery tech in your van.
Yeah, this is a space that keeps evolving. So our new batteries are all lithium ion. So think about your smartphone battery. It's a battery where you can run your phone down to 0 and it just dies. Right. Previous battery technology was such that they'd have 2 or 3 or even 4 batteries that were not lithium ion, and if you'd run them to 50% or less, you can actually damage the battery. And so now we're at this point where there's a real fear around what battery percentage had. Complex and you'd have to plug them in a lot earlier, maybe finish at midday rather than 2 p.m. or whatever. So now with this new technology, it allows us to put actual more equipment in the van, run it for longer. It's quicker to charge. It's just, it's quite phenomenal, the technology these days. Greener as well, better for the environment overall. And they last longer, so you don't need to replace them after 2.5, 3 years. They go even longer than that as well. So well worth the investment over a generator, which you, of course, need.
Much difference in price from... Obviously, it gets cheap. Batteries are getting cheaper all the time. Obviously.
Yeah.
Was there much difference in price originally, or like the gap?
Yeah, great question. So it depends on the quality of the generator, but generators can be, well, as you know, up to 15, 20 grand. But our system, it's not cheap, but it is great quality, really good quality in terms of the inverters we use, Victron inverters, which you can control from your smartphone. These lithium batteries. And a bunch of other components that go into that system, which is really cool. So and green. So, there's no noise, there's no fumes, there's no maintenance. I mean, at the end of the day, when you think about it, a generator, whether that's on a yacht or wherever else they use them, food trucks, whatever, it's a plan. It's not a core. It's a backup. It's a backup power. It's not supposed to be used for primary power. Yeah. And so to move away from that technology is just the best thing we ever did, and that was a long time ago.
Have you got existing franchisees retrofitting?
We've got none of them using generators, which is fantastic.
So they're all retrofitted.
They've all, or they've brought them on new. So So it's good. It is exciting, and it's quiet. It's clean. It means that we don't have to. We can be right down on the trial line or behind on the goalposts, on the field with the kids playing their weekend sports, and we're right there in the action. We don't have to be plugged in anywhere or anything like that. So
how has it changed? Has it changed a franchisee's daily operation much, like their day in the life?
It's easier to for general. There's next to no maintenance, frankly, other than cleaning down and emptying dirty water, filling up with water, and that sort of thing. There's no fuel to add to the generator, no servicing costs or anything like that. Less depreciation costs or that sort of thing. So, huge change. It's been a huge shift for the industry, and we've never looked back. And it's also, we just don't get any problems with it. So with generators, Darren, founder of the business, started the brand many moons ago, and he's moved through that whole phases of various different generators, and I'll let him tell you that story. And he should be on here, actually. You should get him on here at one point. But he can tell you great stories around fixing generators and then bouncing around, trying to nail them down to the floor of the van and then bouncing around, yada yada. So it's just everything evolves, and we do as well. And to use that word again, pivot. We've got to keep moving with the market and changing technology. But what we're using right now is an absolute winner, and we're very pleased with it. Yeah, and it powers everything we need.
And let's go on your product. We had some nice coffee this morning.
Yeah, good.
So you've made some changes recently. How long ago was it? You've come up with your own brand now in coffee, don't you? So we do. Your own brand. So tell me about what the journey was to get to that, and what was the rationale behind it, and what's been the outcome like?
Many moons ago, we used a very big brand in Brisbane, which was since sold to a huge player in Queensland, or an ASX listed company, and we just thought. Also. Yeah, that major roaster, and kudos to them. Yeah, that was a journey where we launched, and there was a lot of leveraging each other's specialities of what we do. But since then, we've taken on a roaster which actually used to work for this brand many moons ago, and he's just so passionate. So, and I'll throw his name out there, Steve Novello. G'day, Steve. This guy, honestly, there's nothing he doesn't know about coffee. Typical Italian, the hands, and he's just brilliant. I love him to bits, and he's just so passionate about what he does. And I'll tell you, the sheer quality of the green bean that he purchases is up there, and we just get so much great feedback for the blend that he's put together for us. The blend is specific to our customer demographic, specific to the machine that we use as well. There's a bit of science in it. I'm not that guy to ask about that sort of thing. But
so what sort of, do you go for a more rounded, smoother flavour profile?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, in short. So basically, but it is strong. It is quite a strong brew. It's got a bit of Robusta in there. I'm not a big, because we know that, you're testing me now.
I'm testing your coffee knowledge.
Yeah. I'm just not the right guy for coffee. It's the actual, love wine, don't know how to make wine sort of thing,
So we're talking about the flavour profile.
Yeah, the flavour profile. Look, basically, he's just put something together which is really special. That's all I'll say. And at the end of the day, it's up to the customer to tell us what they think. And it's.
I think it's important. There's a few brands out there that I've had, because I was previously marketing manager of a coffee company and everything as well. A few brands out there that go with that rounder but really not very strong blend.
Yeah.
And it just makes an inferior product. I think you can always pair back. You can always pair back with half shots and everything. To get it stronger and stronger and stronger. It becomes harder and harder just purchasing.
It does. And I suppose to use a lot of wine analogies, because it is a lot like about blending wine, blending coffee, it's very similar. So for instance, Arabica, if you have 100% Arabica, it's almost like a big heavy Grenache sort of thing, super heavy, bang, whooshka. You need a little bit of Robusta in there to round it out, and it's all about where those green beans are procured to get the quality right.
Yep.
And so, Central South American countries we get it from, and I think India, for the Robusta, but really
Steve
top
knows.
shelf stuff.
Steve knows.
Ask Steve. Don't ask me. I'm not your guy for that. But I do know that it's very. Like I say, fragile, but it's specialty coffee. It has a specific use, best by date, used by date, etc. And good stuff.
So one other thing I really keep on, I want to make sure we, because we're not going to talk forever in these podcasts, but I told you you'd have no problem talking. You said, well, I talk about it, you'll keep talking.
Oh, I can bang on a bit,
The $1 million question, I wanted to talk about van versus cafe.
Yeah,
so
right.
In a space where, you're encouraging people to get into a van, fit into their coffee business, passionate about coffee, passionate about working with people and customers. And there's always this left or right option. So what's your view on it? Why are you more of a van guy? What do you see as rationale why people come to you? Explain me the reasons why they tell you they go for you instead of going for a cafe.
Look, I suppose there's three core differences, I think, between a fixed location cafe and what we do in the mobile space. And I suppose that, I'll say they're cons. The sheer costs of running a fixed location cafe, expensive leases, which you've got to sign up to for many, many years. You fit out all your equipment, tables, chairs, maybe a small kitchen if that's what you have as well. You've got a lot of outgoings before you've even sold your first flat white. And so with us, yes, there's the van and the fit out. We have very easy finance solutions with that, very minimal initial contribution, about 25k usually we ask for as a minimum, has to get into an Xpresso, and then from there very easy to get finance for, very reasonable repayments as well. And we're working with one of the big four banks at the moment to get an accreditation. Right, let's say that for next time. And then of course people costs. So we live in a country where we've got to pay a lot of money for someone to turn up to work for an hour, and so in a fixed location cafe to have people hide behind the coffee machine, not engage with customers. It's very easy to do that. It's tricky, I think, to run, unless it's your own cafe and you want to personally run it and be there 7 days a week to turn a profit. It's not an easy game. It looks easy, but it's not easy. For every one that opens, I can tell you there's one or two that close.
So would you say that in a van, was sort of having owned a van coffee before that you almost feel like you're a bit like, master of your own destiny, you're a bit in control of your own destiny a bit more? Or
I do. I would say that, but I would also say that with us, yes, you are, but you've also got a coach behind you. You've got a coach, you've got a business coach that's going to help you get to the goals that they set. We're not going to tell you, you need to do 150, 200 cups a day. We're going to reverse engineer a business plan that they independently put together and then help them through that. There's that component, but then there's also the on the ground with them side by side in the van, helping them build the business. And that's what we do as well. And then after we slowly step aside, because at some point they've got to stand on their own 2 feet, when they do that, they are the master of their own destiny. And we just strongly encourage them to listen and apply what we've taught them to be successful. And they will be, and they are, if they do what they're told. I think one of the questions on our application form is...
Coaching? Is that
That's coaching, maybe not coaching, but telling, but one of the questions on our application form is, do you accept direction? And really, and it's a critical question, because if you can't be coached, then I'm not sure we can help you, So, and maybe you are better off being independent.
You hear a lot of franchisors talking about the same thing. I mean, if you're not prepared or willing to be coached, what's the point about coming into a franchise?
That's right. Yeah.
Go do it on your own.
Yeah. And we're really passionate. We want these guys to be super successful, because their success is our success. It sounds cheesy, but there's a lot of fact to that. We put a lot of time, effort, and cash into each launch to make sure that they're making money by the time that we slowly step away. And there's an income guarantee that goes beyond that launch period as well.
Have an income guarantee in your business?
Yeah, it's a short one. It's it might sound like a gimmick, but the reality is we want our customers to we want our licensees to connect with our customers during that period and not worry about the outgoings so much. And so, and also that income guarantee is linked to the effort that we put in. So the harder we work, the less we have to guarantee, because
liability.
Yeah, correct.
So
Yeah.
For a shorter period, don't you?
Short period, just for the first 4 weeks. That's
the launch
$10,000.
rolling,
It's $500 as a gross income guarantee that we top up if they fall short, which they will, of course, in the first week because they're only just starting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that coach that first week, the first few weeks when they're launched, is out there taking them to locations, business locations, finding customers. Then that's just
repetitive. Spot on, exactly, and doing that well and rehearsed, and then putting all the different coffees together, and when they're all milling around the van, and you can feel them staring into the back of your head, to have that other person there initially that's actually pretty much doing most of it, and allowing the new licensee to connect to their customer. That's critical because it's about building those relationships and not having a complete panic attack. And it all falling over.
First days, stressed, focusing on quality product, back turn to the people and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of psychology in it because you've got these guys, and I was one of them when I first started as well. It's like, what have I done? What am I doing? I'm in the wrong business. What have I done? But it's our job to work through that and turn that negativity into positive energy and move them forward. And we've got some tremendous people in the business that help them do that. It's really cool to watch.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's good fun.
You've got a lot going on. There's a lot changed over the last.
A lot changed.
I think we probably last spoke. 6-7 months ago. I think, and this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
look, it's been a tough couple. Look, for anyone in this building, it's been a tough couple of years, and we're no different. But I just get a strong sense now there's some real momentum across a lot of brands, us included, and it's good times. We've got strong migration. We've got the banks that are getting a bit hungrier to do business as well, and we need plenty, and there's plenty of room for more mobile cafes out there, Glenn.
Absolutely. That's a great way to finish the podcast, mate.
Why not?
Excellent. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Everything podcast.
Yeah.
Jonathan Payne, Xpresso Mobile Cafe. I've got it right this time. There you go, mate. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thanks.